Genghis Khan had mastered the art of war against walls, having crushed the Western Jai and dismantled the Jim dynasty, but conquering the East was merely a prelude. His ambition was not just to rule, but to create a global trade empire, secured by the peace of the Pax Mongolica. To the west lay the wealthy, sprawling Khwarazmian Empire, centered on modern Iran, Afghanistan, and Uzbekistan. This empire controlled the richest sections of the Silk Road. Genghis Khan sought not conflict, but commerce. In 1218, he dispatched a massive trade caravan, approximately 450 Muslim merchants carrying immense wealth in gold, silver, and the finest silks, to establish official trade relations with the Khwarazmian Shah. The Shah's response was not a treaty, but an act of catastrophic betrayal. The caravan reached the Khwarazmian border city of Otrar. There, the city's governor, Inalchuq, accused the merchants of being Mongol spies. Driven by greed or paranoia, he seized all the goods and promptly executed the entire caravan. Genghis Khan, in a display of remarkable restraint, sent a final, small delegation directly to Shah Muhammad II, demanding that Inalchuq be handed over for justice under the laws of the steppe. The Shah's reaction sealed his fate and the fate of his empire. He executed the chief Muslim diplomat and, in a gesture of profound humiliation, shaved the beards of the two slaving Mongol envoys, sending them back to the Khan. Under the Yasa, the murder of an envoy was an unpardonable violation of sacred trust. The mutilation was a declaration of war and personal contempt. Genghis Khan reportedly retreated into the mountains for days, fasting and meditating, before declaring that he would seek divine retribution against the Shah. Genghis Khan personally led the invasion, mobilizing his entire army, estimated at between 150,000 and 200,000 soldiers, including his sons and his most formidable generals, Subutai, Jebe, and Tolui. The Khwarazmian Empire was geographically vast and possessed superior manpower, but Shah Muhammad II committed a fatal strategic error. He believed the Mongols would be incapable of defeating his fixed garrisons. He divided his forces across his major cities rather than concentrating them for a decisive field battle. Genghis Khan exploited this. He employed a masterful strategic deception, sending a massive visible force toward Otrar, but detaching a much smaller, highly mobile force of 20,000 men under his two brilliant generals, Jebe and Subutai, to sweep around the Khwarazmian flank. Simultaneously, he led a smaller main force on a daring 300-mile crossing of the Kyzyl Kum desert, a feat of logistics and navigation deemed impossible by Khwarazmian intelligence. This move put the main Mongol army directly in the heart of the enemy's territory, flanking the Shah's positions and striking at the city of Bukhara. The Khwarazmian Empire began to collapse almost instantly. Otrar was besieged for 5 months, a slow, methodical destruction demanded by the Khan for revenge. When Governor Inalchuq was finally captured, he was executed, symbolically repaying his treachery. Historians widely believe molten silver was poured into his eyes and ears. In Bukhara, the city fell quickly in February 1220. Genghis Khan entered the main mosque, using the high pulpit to address the terrified populace. He declared that he was not seeking gold or land, but was merely the Scourge of God sent to punish them for the sins of the Shah. This moment marked the true beginning of the Mongol terror campaign. He then marched on Samarkand, the magnificent capital, whose walls and garrison were massive. But the Shah's divided strategy meant no reinforcement arrived. The city was quickly overwhelmed by the combined Mongol forces and their newly refined Chinese siege technology. With his major cities falling, Shah Muhammad II panicked and fled west, dissolving his central army and refusing to stand and fight. Genghis Khan, considering the Shah the root of the treachery, issued an unprecedented order. It detached 20,000 cavalry under Jebe and Subutai with a single 2-year mission to pursue the Shah to the ends of the earth and kill him. This chase turned into a long-range reconnaissance mission and a relentless campaign of terror. As the main army followed, cities that offered even token resistance were leveled. In Merv, the population was allegedly marched out, divided according to gender, and systematically executed by the thousands. In Nishapur, after a setback, the Khan's son-in-law was killed. Genghis Khan's daughter, in her grief, demanded that every living thing in the city be destroyed, and a pyramid of severed heads was built as a warning. The Khwarazmian Empire was not just defeated, it was wiped from the map, and the entire cultural and agricultural fabric of Central Asia was permanently scarred. Genghis Khan, the political visionary, had become Genghis Khan, the instrument of annihilation. The Shah ultimately died ignominiously on a small island in the Caspian Sea, a fugitive without an empire. But the pursuit did not end. Jebe and Subutai, having completed their core mission, did not return home. They continued their momentum, riding north into the vast unknown lands beyond Persia. Their incredible 2-year journey would cross the Caucasus Mountains and lead them to an entirely new group of peoples who had never heard the name Mongol, the princes of the Rus. Next, we follow the Great Ride.